check, check. Okay. She's on the other side of the door with her little paw trying to get it out. That's funny. Anyway, hi guys! Welcome on. If you are new to the channel, my name is Tiffany and I'm the owner of Tiffany Cosplay LLC, which is a company that focuses on costume and prop fabrication as well as education. Welcome to the channel. The noisy critter in the background is Yuki. She's trying to eat my paper. Stop that. Okay, we're going to officially move it because you want to eat tracing paper now apparently. Okay. You can't get it there now. You can't. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, would love to have you as part of our cosplay making community. So like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Again, if you are on, I don't know which one's which, Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that is where I'm reading chat and answering questions. So we'll go over to YouTube. But yeah, hi Adam, hi Wizard, hi Foot, and anybody else that's watching, lurking, or watching the VOD later. And Honeycrow, welcome on. So I kind of disappeared for like a week and a half, and I went to BlizzCon for my first time, and I kind of brought home the win. Yuki. Okay. We're gonna lock you out, Yuki. You're being too crazy. Too crazy. But yeah, I kind of brought home the win and won, I think the category I was in was Best Colossal. We weren't really told what our category was, so yeah. And then I brought home Best in Show for my Lilith cosplay. So but thanks guys for all of your support. Everything. I've gotten a lot of really nice words and everything, and I really appreciate it. So yeah. It hasn't quite hit me yet. It's just I'm still like really tired from everything, and I don't really know, like, after I won, it was just like, okay, bye, like, okay, so I don't really know. I guess somebody will contact me later with other stuff, I don't know, but yeah, it was a fun experience, so very, very happy. It was a dream convention and a dream, cosplay competition that I didn't think I would be able to do, so yeah. But I'll talk about that throughout the stream, just more Blizzard stuff. And today we're actually going to be working on the fourth and final one of our Hilichurl, whatever they're called, mask from Genshin Impact. This one is the Pyro one. It's the image over there. And when I switched to another page, it's like sideways and I couldn't fix it, so more to the device, or like warning, whatever. So yeah. But this will be the last one, and then I'll end up doing painting all of them, and I'll have tutorials for all of them as well coming onto YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, I did, for my members, I did just release another video today. I'm finally back into working on tutorials, and the Diablo head tutorial was released today to my members. Reminder that for my YouTube members, y'all get early access to my cosplay tutorials up to 3 months. So there'll be a bunch of other Lilith ones coming shortly, and hopefully I'll be able to get my vlogs done, because y'all know I'm super behind on those. Yeah. But I appreciate everything, guys. Yeah. So I'll be working on that. Oh, one other note. I know, I don't know if you remember, we were saving up for international convention, and because of NDA things, I couldn't say anything. Well, NDA things say I still can't say anything, and that NDA thing is no more because of not me, but because of them. So, no more international convention, but I couldn't say anything really, so it's not a bad thing, but it's not like a, I don't know. So all the funds that we raised, I think we had like 150 for that. It's just gonna go towards more crafting supplies, and eventually probably a new keyboard, because I'm missing some keys now thanks to Yuki. I have no idea where they went. One came off and now it's gone. And it's really annoying because it's like the pinky, the little dotted one, and it's really annoying. So I have to get a new keyboard. And paying off the trip was expensive. It was so expensive. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. So more printers. Oh, that would be nice. I would love to get more printers and stuff. I'm gonna start getting my things out. But the problem with that is where I have all of my printers set up, I don't have enough power in the basement. So I can't run more than one printer. And I can't airbrush paint and print something at the same time. And there's all these, like, I can only do one thing or the other. So at this point, it would be upgrading, but not really adding to the collection, I guess. If anything, I would like to get a larger resin printer. Okay, I think... Oh! Alright, so... I have to remember, this has been sitting out for a while. So yeah. But yeah, welcome on, guys! Welcome. I know, for the Dr. Pepper budget! Yes! Oh, and also, I did release all of my Lilith 2D and 3D 2D patterns and 3D CAD files on my website for Lilith. So if you're interested in making your own or whatever, it's there. And also, I need to do one thing. Exclamation point. Let's see, does it work? There we go. I am going to be instructing a 2-day airbrush workshop. We're going to be making for that workshop, airbrush painting for the workshop, a mask which is going to look similar to my sun mask from Princess Mononoke, as well as a pair of resin horns. And for this workshop, again, it's 2 days. All of the tools and the materials are provided, so you just need to show up. You don't even have to bring an airbrush gun or paint. And lunch is also provided, and it's hosted by Createx Colors, which is my airbrush paint provider, and it is in Connecticut. I always confuse that one, but it's in Connecticut on December 2nd and the 3rd, and it costs $150 to help cover the cost of everything. And if you're interested in that, you can email info@createxcolors.com to register and to find out more information. But it is a very limited class. There's only 10 slots available, and I know we filled up a bunch of them already, and I haven't really advertised it that much. So yeah, but if you're interested in learning to airbrush paint how I do for cosplay props and things, and using some of the techniques that I used for Lilith, sign up. I'd love to have you as part of the class. Yee! Okay, now I can do this. Shut up. Alright. I need to... I'm also a little all over the place because I haven't been home for a while. Yeah. Okay. So, for the mask, it's going to be pretty much the same, but I think the only difference is this last piece is different from all the other masks because it is slightly down, I believe. Let's see. Actually, I take that back. C should be different too. But you know what? I didn't print that page, so we're gonna print one more page real quick. Sorry, guys. Told you I'm a little loopy. That should be page 2, I think. It'll only take me a second. Oh, they're all different. Okay. Glad we're doing this. All of them are being reprinted. Cool. Okay. But yeah, BlizzCon was so much fun. I never went to it before. This was my first BlizzCon, and the first impression on, not like day 0, but the first day of the actual con on Friday, well, we had to wait 55 minutes to get inside. the line was so long. It was going all the way through neighborhoods and stuff, and it passed our hotel, and it was like kind of funny to leave our hotel to go away and then pass it again, and yeah. But once I got inside, the first place we did, because we got in like literally 5 minutes before the opening ceremony thing at 11, just because of how long the line was, and we went straight into the WoW area, and I like almost cried. I was just like, oh, I'm finally here, and it was so overwhelming. But the first thing that I saw was there's a bunch of like holographic hanging banners, and they kept changing leading up to the sword, and it was just so cool. That was the coolest thing, in my opinion, for BlizzCon. Like all of just the large, like, not sculptures, but like the environments. I really liked each room was different and set with a theme of like Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and Diablo. I'd say the Overwatch one was a little bit of a letdown. I didn't really feel like Overwatch, it just felt like a kind of afterthought. But the WoW one and the Diablo one were really, really cool. And for Wizard, I have a feedback of y'all had a missed opportunity of not having a bunch of like small little statues scattered around that you did like a scavenger hunt for, and then when you like press the button and it glowed red. It would have been so cool to have that, because I like scavenger hunts. That's my only like, I know y'all did it for like was it Mountain Dew or something? But it would have been cool to have it as like little statue things. That's just my feedback, the peanut gallery. But the whole thing was really cool. I love seeing everything. Seeing all the statues up close was also really cool. I did lots and lots of videos of it, so yeah. Cut there. I only gotta cut these. Send it on there, Mountain Dew scavenger. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew there was something like that, but I wasn't sure. The Mountain Dew one, there was apparently like 4 different places, and you went and you tried their drink, and then you at the end were entered into getting, I believe, a Lilith statue, the one that's like that tall or something. But I only saw 2 of them. I didn't even realize it was a scavenger hunt. But I kind of was just like all over the place. And so technically on the second day on Saturday, since I was in Lilith, I was not moving around very much. I did end up getting a little bit of heat stroke in it, just because like everybody was like, why are you overheating? It's like, the whole thing's fucking leather. Like from here all the way down was just solid leather that's skin tight and like it doesn't breathe. And because of the harness, I also couldn't bend, and oh, it was so hot. I could barely go from place to place, and then we had to go and do like group photos outside, and it was bad. I just about passed out because of it. After that, we went inside all of the cosplay contest people, and it took me a good like 15-20 minutes to finally cool down. We had to unzip my back. I had people like fanning me, just because I was like about to throw up. It was a little close call for my liking, but yeah. So all worked out, I guess. But yeah, it was fun though. I'd say, because I know people are probably on here curious about the cosplay contest, and I didn't really talk about it beforehand. Well, there was a bunch of behind the scenes things before the cosplay contest, and the cosplay contest was a very last minute decision of like 2 days before the deadline. I was like, well, let's enter, because of other things that happened. And they normally with cosplay competitions, when you enter, you submit like a build book or reference images and stuff, and there was no place to put that. So I actually submitted twice, and it was like in a little comment box. I was like, here's a link to my build book. I don't know what you're doing with this, and it was kind of a little bit of a mess in my opinion behind the scenes. And we never got a confirmation email, no information whatsoever. And then like I ended up emailing another place like, hey, I don't know if y'all, like what's going on, here's a link to my build book, and they're like, thanks, we're behind, we'll get back to you soon. And then literally it was a week before BlizzCon and they're like, congratulations, you're gonna be in community night, like, or in the contest or whatever, but not really like, it was a generic one. That wasn't like specific, and it's like, if you think somebody else should have got this email, forward it to them, or let them know. It was a little weird, because none of it was like specific to any person, it was just like a general email. So I didn't really know if I actually was in it or not, until I got there. And yeah, there was a lot of people. A lot of good costumes too. I wish I could have seen more of them. I think one of my favorite ones that I saw, which I wish I could have like took a picture of her, but I was like dying from the heat. I think she was in the duo group, and it was Diva with like, it was a mom and daughter group, I think, or something. Oh, so cute. It's like one of my favorites. But I didn't get to see any of the show behind the scenes at all. So I don't even know, like, I haven't even watched the show. The only stuff I've seen is what, thank you to Cliff for clipping the two things for me, because I didn't see any of it, and I was just like, oh, now I can see at least a little bit of it. But, the whole stage thing was also so cool. That was probably the most impressive stage I have been on. Like, it was just so cool how they did everything. And we had a rehearsal the night before, like after the thing had ended, and there was, like, individually they told you kind of how you would go. You'd either be on this side of the stage or that side, and so you got to rehearse it. And I kind of told them, okay, well, I gotta rehearse, like, I'm gonna have wings, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna probably guide you this way. In the little, how I got on stage, the hallway, well, there's small ramps, and so we put on the wings when I was up there. Not on stage, but behind it. But the hall, from the very back until where I was standing, like, that wide. It was not very wide at all. So I'm standing on the sides holding my wing blades so they don't wobble, and I've got a guide on either side trying to be like, okay, turn left a tiny bit and arch this, and they kind of pulled me. And they were so like on top of it. It was really cool with how well their backstage and just the like whole show was put together. That was like phenomenal. So yeah, that was probably one of the cooler things. Lowered me from the roof. By the way, I'm really behind on reading. Sorry, I kind of just started talking. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I got to meet Wizard. Finally. A random meeting you because I was looking for maps. And you were like, is this the Tiffany of the Tiffany Gordon cosplay? Or something like that. It was really funny. So. Oh, sorry. Let me turn that a little bit. It seems a little dark. I'm gonna lighten it up a tiny bit for y'all. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I need the cap cam, not the face cam. This seems kind of dark. Let's see. Is that a little better? Hopefully. Yeah. You saw in a few group photos, Ops? Yeah, I didn't really go out too much. In Lilith, I went beforehand. I was in the Diablo Hall for about an hour, and then one of the head BlizzCon video people came over when I was was about to leave and did like a whole video shoot thing. So that was cool. And then the only other like that I know of professional photographer was Alexandra Lee Photography. And we did one after the contest. We went into the Diablo Hall and did that there. But otherwise, I didn't really... Which one did I cut out? I'm like cutting weird areas and it's hard to tell. But yeah, I didn't really stop too much for photos just because it was like all the photos I stopped for were like for myself taking photos, not for other people really. Just because I was trying to get to the pre-judging. The judging was only an hour for like all 50 people. It ended up going a little bit longer, thank goodness. But it was a little weird. It was cool though, cause so it was the judges. I think it was like 11 of the BlizzCon or like Blizzard developers as the judges. But I do wish they had like I don't know who all they were, so I don't know their background besides them being developers. But nobody, like typically for cosplay competitions, a craftsmanship judge will come up and they will, they'll flip your seams on your costume, they'll look up close, and everybody just sat on a table, or sat behind the table, and it was really hard to hear anybody. And all of us contestants were standing behind them. So it was a little weird on that point, because typically you go into a room and you're alone with them. Not everybody gets to watch. But for me, I don't know if it was for anybody else, but everybody else before me, all the other contestants in line were just talking the whole time. But for me, I went up and I started talking, and I swear, like the whole room went quiet. And it was just like, oh, like I've never felt so much like the attention is on me when I talk. Like all the contestants went quiet and everybody was listening to me, so it was kind of cool. I don't know after me though if everybody like stayed that way or not, but I know beforehand they weren't. But I feel like it would have been nice to have that a little different, in my opinion. And I gave them my build books too. I only brought 2 because I didn't know how many judges there would be, and the printers actually messed up on my build books. They like all my build books I always make very light, and they were like so dark. Like half of my pictures looked black and you couldn't really see any of the details, and everything was, it was like somebody put the vibrancy on max on everything, so everything was just so blown out, and I just didn't want to bother going back and doing others. But I do plan on doing a build book tutorial later with my Lilith one, and I always recommend for contests to have a build book, especially if like you have very limited time, because then they can go back and look at it, and also for online ones you definitely need it. So, but I don't know if anybody else had a build book. I didn't see too many people giving the judges anything, but I only saw, I think like 5 or 6 people in front of me, so I don't have too much to base off of that. But I do know a lot of them were following the process already of my Lilith costume, so they'd seen a lot of how I made it, thank goodness. And it was like hard to tell them in like 3 minutes of like, this is everything I did. And I did miss a few things, but I did feel good walking away from it. So, yeah. I know, Wizard exists IRL. Weird to think. Yeah, there were some people I kept running into, like some of my cosplayer friends, but I know some of the people in the community, our community, came and said hi, but I didn't say who they were, and I don't know, like, in Lilith, I am partly blind, and I am deaf, because the latex covers my ears, and everything just echoes, so you have to shout at me, and, like, even when I went on stage, I didn't hear a single thing they said. I could hear, like kind of rah, rah, rah. That was about it. So yeah, and I didn't know how long I was supposed to be up there either. I thought it was go on stage and I did my little turn and then I raised the Diablo head and was like, okay. I was like, oh no, I'm staying here. What am I doing? Because I thought it was like a few seconds. I don't know how long we were supposed to stay up there or not, but I was told, wait till it gets dark and we'll come and get you. And it's like, okay. So I kind of, for me, I conceded my face and I'm like, awkward moment of like, okay, now what? So yeah, but it was cool. I liked it a lot. Very much an experience I will always remember. And then also went out for almost like half the meals with cosplay friends, which was cool. So did dinner 2 nights with Kamui, did dinner with Hoku and Plexi. Plexi, she, after the contest, she brought me champagne at the dinner we went to and we all shared it with the group. It was really nice. It was good champagne too. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all the parts we gotta cut. Okay, I'm gonna keep that part. So now we need to trace these onto our phone. So let me get that up. But yeah, lots of dinners. Who else? Gnoza was there. Nerds Gone Mild. A lot of people, I don't know their names. And those are like the main ones I remember. I know there's more. Oh, Samir also. I did get some photos with Samir. He was the, I'm terrible at his name. The main Diablo cosplayer. Not Lilith, but in, I always forget it. It's with an I, and y'all know me with names. But he was the main one, and we were able to do a photo shoot after the competition, where we do some of the like the romantic ones, and then also some of the pulling of the wings, and then the stabbing and stuff like that. And it was cool. So hopefully I'll get some of those pictures soon. Thank you for the $20 donation. I really appreciate it. Congrats on BlizzCon again. Much love. I really appreciate it. I will write it down and the notification will turn up soon, hopefully. Got it. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, BlizzCon is probably, it'll either be the last cosplay contest that I do, or I might do one more. But I'm pretty much at the point where I am done with competing, just because I feel like when you, so for me, I've done a lot of judging at conventions and stuff, and typically if I'm a judge at one, I'll never compete at it, or whatever is in their circuit of conventions. And I've done so many now, and I'm very limited to what I can do. And then also, if you've won anything, I never compete at it again. So, setting up to film. Maybe maybe it will ring soon. Maybe. It's really behind if it hasn't. I know Streamlabs is having issues today. Their dashboard wasn't working, so I couldn't hook up the sounds properly, to check the volume, but it still was doing alerts, so I'm not sure. We'll see. Oh, hey Matt. How are you? Go out and talk, yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Caspian. You're not gonna get your Voltron. Sorry. I actually, so... I can say it now. The next cosplay I'm gonna be making is Seth from Trinity Blood. Because I can say it now. And it is one that, for me, Trinity Blood, I've already made 3 costumes out of. I've done Able Night Road, Seth, and Sister Kate. It's an anime, and it's like one of my favorites. It's like a cult classic. And the Seth that I'm gonna be doing is the Thor art book version, like heavily detailed. We're gonna be doing the weapons. We're gonna be doing the floating cage. So that's gonna be the next big build. But I don't have a deadline on it now. Yay! So I'm just gonna kind of like make it, but I don't want to burn myself out. So we'll be working on a bunch of Genshin stuff in the meantime. And then, I don't know, I've kind of, like, I don't want to have two big projects going on, but I'm also kind of looking at other stuff. Like, I'm doing a bunch of smaller Genshin things, but then I don't know if I want to do, like, a full Genshin build. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm also don't want to buy any materials, and I have all the materials for stuff already. Well, for the most part. So yeah, that's why I kind of want to do that. But I am still thinking about the Lich Queen. It's been on my list for a while. I know a lot of people really want to see that. So yeah, that's in the process of maybe in the future. I haven't started it, so. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, there was one more piece to trace. Oh well. But yeah, I'm excited for Seth. And I already have everything patterned for it. I've been working on it for a while actually now. Behind the scenes, just pattern making. And it's a stupidly long train, to say the least. This also is not a very hard mask. This is one of the easier ones too. It'll kind of be like the ice snow one that we did. Okay. Take this off. Yeah, Trinity Blood is a little bit of an oldie. I made the 3 of them in high school. They were like my first cosplay builds that I built stuff for, and also my first win with Sister Kate. But it's gonna be cool to kind of do like, here's a side-by-side of my first actual competition piece of like Sister Kate that was all hand-stitched, and all of it was before the days of Warpla and foam, like EVA foam. And you worked with Sculpey, where you kind of like made it and then you had to bake it in the oven, and it broke really easily. So it's gonna be kind of cool to see how over. Ooh, that one would have been in 2009. So however long that's been. Y'all can do the math. I don't want to think right now. But since then, how much my skill level has improved. And also, obviously, I'm going to be using a little bit more better materials, so it'll be an interesting side-by-side that I can do. And for those that are on TikTok and Instagram, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that is where we can chat and answer questions. So if you have any of that, go to YouTube. It is free. For those on YouTube, if you are new, I'd love to have you as part of our cosplay building community, so like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. And today we are working on the last of our Hilichurl mask from Genshin Impact. This is the Pyro one. trace this one, so we're just gonna kind of put it there because there's room. Yeah. No, I can't read. Well, I have stuff going on Instagram and TikTok, but I can't really read on there. I have 3 chats open. I've got 2 filming cameras. I've got this camera, this camera. It's too much for me to read on there, so I only do one, and that's YouTube for here. Okay, so that should be all of it now. Break the helmet and just need to figure out what's where you want to do. Oh, you were talking about the helmet on, wasn't that the file that you got and you weren't able to, or you had to fix it or whatever because it wasn't slicing properly? Aw, thank you, I appreciate it. Down to do the collab? That'd be cool. Maybe. Yeah, I saw she was doing, her and Jessica Negri, I think, are doing another one of her cosplay contests on Twitch, I believe. Yeah. No, I am still brain fried. I have been up, so my sleep schedule has been all over the place with different time zones and waking up randomly, and I got up just on my own at 6:30 this morning. I was just like, I can't sleep, and time zone that I gained like, well, technically 3 hours because of the daylight savings coming home. So I should have had more sleep, but then now I don't know. I'm just like all over the place. I can't function. So that's fun. Yeah. Okay, let us. I'm just gonna cut this one. We're not gonna cut it yet, but I find it easier to do this. Okay. That. Put it to the side. Okay. And then we need our 4mm. And I do need to get more foam, unfortunately. So for if you do exclamation point workshop, I am going to be instructing a 2-day airbrush painting workshop with the host being Cretex Colors, which is my airbrush paint supplier. And one of the things we're going to be airbrush painting is masks that look similar to Sans mask from Princess Mononoke. But I gotta make all of them in advance, so I gotta do a bunch of cutting later. But I've got it where I pretty much have it where it's all gonna be cut with the Glowforge just to make it easier for me, and then I just have to do some sanding and gluing. So that's kind of what we're doing. Yeah. Exclamation point foam. It should be the my new foam provider with a link to it. Okay. Actually, do it on this side. It'll be easier. And if you use that link and purchase anything from that specific link, it will also support me with no additional cost to you. yeah, this provider, so I am, is it affiliated, I guess, technically? And it's Blick Art and Supplies, I believe is what they're called. And SKS Props is the foam specifically. But they do sizes 2, 4, 6, and 10, I believe. Where if you use TNT beforehand, the foam is pretty much the same, just it's a little more thick, I would say. And cutting it is a little, you have to put a little more pressure to cut each piece. But it works just the same as the other one. Quality-wise, I'd say it's about the same as well. They just don't have 12mm, and I used a lot of 12, so I'm having to change some stuff. Cheers, guys! Thank you for watching. There's the info for the workshop as well. It did go right. Go. Go. There we go. It's like I pressed the button. Okay. Here's all of our pieces. And then we go trace, trace, trace. But yeah, if y'all have any questions on BlizzCon or anything, ask away. I can try to answer with my experience from this year, I guess. I don't know. It is a bit nice to have a break though and not look at Lilith. I ended up yesterday going through all my cosplay storage and reorganizing them. I did have to get a new container for Lilith. It's not a big cosplay except for like the big part of the wings, but those are being stored somewhere else. And I'm happy it's just not up here because it took me 5 months to make, but I didn't work on it that whole 5, or like it was longer in time because I worked on it for 2 months. I took 2 months off. I worked on it for like another 2 months, took like a month off, and then another month. I took a lot of breaks because it was just so overwhelming with all of it, and I wanted mine to be a realistic version. Was kind of how I was going. So a lot of it was very different, I'd say, because I wanted certain things to feel real with the leather and real with like the patina on things, and I wanted the wings to have a certain look to it so they were see-through and looked actually like bat wings. And definitely could have made the wings lighter and done other versions, but I'm still happy with how they looked because I got the results that I wanted with it. Biggest question, was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. BlizzCon, just BlizzCon in general was a dream convention for me. I wanted to compete at it, but it wasn't like, I wanted to be at BlizzCon was the big thing, and it was worth it. It was worth it to see everything. It was worth it to just be there and be in the crowd, especially with all of my friends. I had so many cosplay friends there that I had never met in person, and it was just really cool to just do dinners every night with people that I've talked to and I've known but I've never met in person, and yeah, it was really cool. So now going back next year, I'd like to, but I don't know financially if I'll be able to. It's an expensive convention, especially since each ticket was like $300. It was expensive. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Now to cut these pieces, or we're gonna do a generic cut because we're not cutting it yet. So I like to heat treat them first. Oh yeah. He took off yesterday, still had to attend a meeting, taking off Friday and Monday, though needs to, oh yeah. I've been trying to catch up, like, for me, I'm still sore. I had bruises on me from the harness where, like, so I had like leather marks too, because the leather just went into me, but I still have a little bit under my armpit here for like a bruise for where the strap was with the harness. The harness was a great design. I ended up, so I did it a little bit different. It was very structurally sound and a lot of engineering went into it because each one was a 3-prong set that had, that I 3D printed, and then I inserted 3 cut pieces of carbon fiber tubing. So that way the wings could easily come on and off, and the harness only like stuck that much on my back. It was very thin. And each part had 2 males and 2 females. So each section was like interlocking, and it was really, really strong. The best harness design I've done, and I'll be using it for a lot more future. I also, since I've done tons of harnesses over the years and wings, slowly have started designing it where instead of it just being like a back plate up here, it actually extends down, and then I have it where it follows the curvature of your back. But the only problem with that is you can't bend. But it helps your natural curve. So that was good. And then I had, typically I'll do like a backpack strap that goes around and then it clips right under the breast. But because of Lilith, since it had a low V, I had to do it lower. So it's a little bit of a different design, but it worked out pretty well. It just, you know, tight-fitting clothing, it rubs, and then having wings every now and then. Had a little bit of bruises, I think. I got a little bit of a bruise there still too. But I'm still tired, but I'm a workaholic, y'all know me. Okay, I need 10 mil now. Let's see if I can find that. I don't know if this is 10 or 12. Let's see. 10. That works. And it's gray. My 4. was SKS, the HD phone. So, there's a shoe. Okay, and then the last piece is this one, and we're going to be doing this twice, so we need 4 of these in total. Hi, Cliff. Weren't you on earlier? I think. If not, hello, hello. The paint job on the bones of the wings, every time you see pictures, they just look fleshy, like real. That's what I wanted. I will say, the stage, it did not do justice for, like, dark lighting on Lilith. Like, it looked cool, but it did not show any of the detail on the costume. I want to do a specific post later where it's like, here's detailed shots of each of the pieces, because definitely when I watched, like, well, my little clip's about that big, it's really dark and you don't see any of it, where like at Monster Palooza, all of the photos and stuff, because it was all outdoors, you see a lot more of it. So I kind of want to show that just because it it looked like a brown spider blob, bat blob kind of thing. But it definitely, like, this is the most detailed cosplay I have made. So yeah, it's a in-person look kind of one that pictures just don't do justice for it. So cool to see one after watching one come together. Actually work hard. Right, yeah, they are the heaviest set of wings that I've made, and I know how to make them lighter next time. Like the top, so the heavy part of the wings was actually the spikes. The rest of the wings, like just the main like part with the webbing, totally fine. Super lightweight. They weighed probably as much as my normal Mercy wings. I could move around super easily. The thing was, so it was my first time doing the spikes. Were resin printed. I read like each one of them. I 3D modeled and sculpted. I had to break them apart into like some of them 5 different sections, and then I had to resin weld them together. And they were already hollow. They had a 2mm wall thickness, and it was hollow on the inside. I also engineered where half of it had a CPVC pipe inside of it, because each one had a threaded system. But that ended up being too heavy. And so I ended up making a cast of each of those spikes, and then I used feather light to pour into it, which in reality I learned a lot, but it didn't take off any of the weight. It was pretty much the same weight. And now that Spoolon is one of my sponsors, I could talk to them and be like, hey, yeah, so when they came and did dinner a few months ago or whatever, I'd already done the wings. I wasn't redoing them a 3rd time. But they told me about this other material, and it was just like, they showed me, it was a rock this big, and it was so light, you could toss it around and stuff, and it's just like, this is what it should have been made out of. So, now that I have time, I want to do some sampling with that. But that was my first like big, like I've done castings before for like jewelry, but they were all small scale. These were like large scale, like I had to have help with like making molds of each of them because stuff was drying and I needed more hands just to make molds. I did all the pouring and stuff, but it was just like, I gotta go fast. But I learned a lot from it, and definitely if I was to remake the wings, which I'm not ever going to, I don't want to do anything else to Lilith. I'm done with it. Yeah, for the most part. But I would redo that part and make it lighter, because that was the biggest thing that added the weight, was the 8 different spikes to the bottom of the wings. But the paint job on them are fantastic. And it's I'd say the favorite part of mine for the entire costume is actually, one, the webbing. I'm so happy with how the webbing turned out. That took so much trial and error because the latex didn't hold paint, and latex paint didn't work on it because with this it wasn't like, it was 4-way stretch fabric basically, but it's latex, not fabric. And the paint, all the other ones, it would crack, it would chip, or it just wouldn't sit on the surface. And so that took a lot of finally figuring out what type of paint would work. And it ended up being illustration paint from Createx, because I had tons of different paints that I was just trying, different lines. And so that one worked the best, and I individually like hand painted with airbrush painting on all of them, and it has so many different layers on it to give the transparency, because you could see through it. I have some pictures in the Diablo haul where it has like glowing like rose windows, I guess I'll call them, and the wings just glow because the light kind of coming through it. And I ended up, for the really large slits, but they weren't slits, put stickers on them. So that way, when I painted, there would be absolutely no paint there. And so it looked like it was kind of how the Lilith statue is, the larger than life one. So that's kind of how I went about that. But then the other part was the very back of the wings where it connected to the back. You have to see it in person. I'm going to try to do close-up pictures for y'all. But it's the white part that blends into the pink, and then the horns, how they were painted. Because I used so many different types of paint to give it more of a fleshy color, like mixing it. So basically doing a normal acrylic paint, which is the Wicked line, and then doing the Candy line, which is like a watered down kind of ink-like paint. And that just made it look so fleshy. It was so nice. And the detail of that is just like spot on. So, Michael Diaz, thank you for the $20 donation. I really appreciate it. Much love. I will write it down. Yay! Got it. Thank you. Oh yeah, every one of my costumes, I have so much engineering that goes into it. Just most people don't see it. And for me, each costume, I have to be able to fly with it. So I have to engineer each one to fit in a suitcase for the most part and travel with it. The only exception that I've done is the Lilith wings, just the webbing main structure, because each of the bottom spikes come off. But that one, it would not fit in a suitcase. Like all of my travel trunks, I designed typically for that, and there was just no way I could bend it or break it down to fit in there and it look correct. And I already downsized the wings quite a bit. They were supposed to be larger too, and it's like I couldn't handle more. So, but had to get a box, a specific box, which ended up being like a $55 box, and then to ship the box to me ended up being like $100. Awful. And then I ended up cutting the box apart because I had to fit, like it was too large and there was nothing in between. And so I had to break that down because I was also trying, so I can't fly Southwest, I can only fly American Airlines with it because of how large the box is. And from that, I ended up like engineering it and then hot gluing half the box together on the inside because I wanted to make sure it wouldn't come apart. And then I had to do all these instructions and do slits and make sure that the airplane people knew how to open the box and not to open the wrong side, and then like all this stuff. And then because I know that the big boxes, they typically get stacked upon, I didn't want it to get crushed. So I ended up building PVC frame, like a cube for it, that slid into the box, but it fit for the wings specifically. And then I had to cut, it was like cardboard, the shape of the wing, but then there wasn't like a center stick, it was like slightly to the side because of the shape of the wings. And then it was like cardboard wings, and then cardboard, all labeled. And yeah, the box was a lot of engineering too. That was like a full day of figuring things out as well, and cutting lots and lots of pipe to the specific size. I saved the box in case I do have to travel with this one more time. But yeah, a lot went into it. The only good thing though is military benefits. I didn't have to pay American Airlines for my 3 boxes, and they let the box go. It was technically it was 4 inches oversized, but they mismeasured one size, so it was only 2 inches and not 4. So they counted as a normal one since it wasn't overweight either. So that box, if I didn't have the military stuff, would have been $200 each way, so 400 in total. And then each luggage would have been, I think, $50. So just flying there would have been a lot. There's been a lot of me figuring things out and trying to save money on stuff. Cause this is a wee bit expensive. So yeah. But I'm happy I saved that money so much. It's like, this is helping. Yeah. Start growing my own wings. That would be nice. Okay, we're just gonna put this down real quick. Okay. Also, I know I'm working really slow today because I'm talking a lot. So, we'll see if I actually want to sand or not today. That's the big thing. That should be all of our parts. I'm gonna move this back a little. So the next step is going to be heat treating everything. So we'll get the heat gun out. But yeah, what is next for me is we're making the Hilichurl mask. Seth from Trinity Blood will be the next big costume. And then I've got my airbrush workshop that I'm going to be an instructor for. And then I don't have any conventions like booked right now, which I'm kind of happy for. Some stuff I've got offers for, but I declined because of another thing, but that other thing is no more. So I don't know. We'll see what convention I do next. I am considering C2E2 because that's another one of the conventions that's on my list that I'd like to go to. But nothing planned right now. I'm kind of happy to not be overwhelmed by things, actually. Take a break a little bit. Well, a break for me. Work on other things. Okay, heat treating time. Before you cut, how long ago do you run them? I figured that out about like 2 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. In general, with heat treating, like I always did it before gluing, so I used to cut my pieces and then heat treat them. But when you heat treat your pieces, so if you do it after, like as your final step after everything is glued, the heat actually reactivates your glue and will cause all of your seams to come apart.
So that's why I always did it beforehand. And then when you heat treat, especially for smaller pieces, the heat gun is actually shrinking ever so slightly, and especially around the edges. So your edges will, it's what I call the gummy bear effect. So gummy bears are not sharp. They're very smooth and kind of gummy berry. And with or like any of your foam, if you heat treat after it's already been cut, all of your nice crisp lines have now, instead of them being straight like this, they are slightly like this. So they're no longer straight lines. So if you're gonna go and glue your pieces after, you're trying to glue two half moons together rather than two flat. So I always try to heat treat first and then I cut. This is gonna give you the crispest of lines. Especially for your 2 mil. Your 2 mil is really bad at shrinking and burning really easily. So C2E2 is one of the cons you want to go to at least once. Yeah, I'm hoping in 2024, but I don't really know anything about the circuit there. Oh, am I still recording? I am. Oh, C2E2 is your backyard before? Yeah. Question, for those on YouTube, I have a heart on my screen. Like in the very bottom where chat is, do y'all have one there too? It's something I haven't seen before and I didn't know if it's like a new update or something. I had it before I started the stream and I don't really know what it is. Must be an update then. They also had like a warning about not releasing your info and stuff, which I know is a real-time slight brother. Okay. Because of all of the, is it doxing is the word, or the one YouTuber or the few YouTubers that have been sharing people's info or something. So they've had like a whole warning thing for me, which was new for since the last time I streamed. Clicking on it, you are able to click on this. Okay, interesting. Alrighty, time to start cutting. I don't know. The only contest that I would really enter again would be C2E2, but I don't know, like, I'm at the point where I don't know if BlizzCon is my last one. Like, I'm at the point where it pretty much is, and if I was to compete again, the only one I'd want to do is C2E2, I think, but I don't really know if I want to or not, if BlizzCon is the official one or not. Yeah. Doxing, yes? Okay. But I know I talked about a few years ago wanting to go to C2E2, and that when I moved to Nebraska, I'd be a little bit closer. I think Honeyfro is talking about doing that one too. So I know a lot of my friends are up there. I'm like in the middle of nowhere. Nobody lives here. Everybody lives like up north, or they live in Florida or California, so. You can ask around one of the Chicago cosplay Discord servers about the scene if you want. Sure, why not? I know with that one, it's like because my friends have been, have worked it before, and it's, I want to say it's like the Cosplay Crown or the Cosplay Central something or whatever, and there's like, it's one that I know there's a bunch of different cons that compete, and then they at the end all go against each other, but I don't really know much more. Oh, did I stop? Yeah, everybody's in Texas because that's where I'm from. Florida, California, or like up in the Chicago area, like New York, Chicago. Nobody's in the middle of the US. I'm like in La La Land. The Crown Central, is that what it's called? Cosplay Crown, okay, Cosplay Crown Champ. One of those, it's some C's. Some kind of C's. Had a CC event last year. Oh, okay. Emerald City Comic Con, I believe. Yeah, there's Honeyfro. Came out lurking. But I think so. BlizzCon was my one that I've been saving up for like a year, and that was my one convention I was doing that I would go on my own and not as a guest, because I can't afford to go to cons unless I'm a guest. I don't cosplay, like, this is my full-time job. I don't have a side job, so I make all my monies off of like streaming and my patterns and things like that, and guesting. So the only way I can go to conventions is if I'm a guest, and conventions are so expensive. I don't know how everybody does it. Like, so I'm hoping that next year C2E2 will be my convention that year that I go to as just for fun. Or if they want to invite me in as a guest, I'm fine with that too. But yeah. Slowly make the list. On that list is also like Dragon Con. One year I want to go to, is it Kazucon or Kazucon or something like that with K is one. I'd say New York City Comic Con would be on that, but I don't really like. I don't know. That one, like, it's a big convention, but I don't know if I really want to go to it. And then I want to go to Gamescom in person. I've already been a judge for that one for the cosplay contest, but it was online, and obviously that's overseas. Let's do that. Yes, so many C's. Yeah, KatsuCon, I think, or I'm saying it wrong. Y'all know me. I can't read or spell to save my life. It's a word. Dragon Con is fun. Did you go to Dragon Con, Chloe? But yeah, for me, when I'm not, like, if I just go to a con for fun, I typically won't tell anybody where I am. I don't schedule anything. I don't want to schedule photo shoots. I just want to go and have fun. And that was the thing this year with BlizzCon and Lilith. It was like I would have crowds and I'd be like, okay, I'm done, let's move. Because I'm not there for work. I'm not a guest. I'm not standing around for being paid to stand around. So it's like, if I'm done, I'm done. And it was kind of nice to honestly just be like, okay, we're moving to a different area. Or just, I'm done. Because all the pictures when I stood around were for me, for like my photographer taking pictures of, and then we would move to a different spot. It wasn't necessarily for like people could take pictures all they wanted, and I was fine with that. But it wasn't necessarily, I wasn't standing there for people. And that's kind of the difference between when I guest and when I'm there just for fun, because I want to have fun, and I don't want to just, I've been to some conventions where I wasn't a guest, and the crowd would kind of control where I went because my costumes were too big, and like I would get stopped. And when I was younger and more new, it was kind of hard to say no when you had so many people, and so you just kind of bear through it. But now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'm done, let's go. And it's nice, honestly. But I know it makes it where some people, like a lot of people get sad because they don't get pictures and this and that, and it's like, well, I want to have fun, and I'm being selfish because this is my con. So that's kind of how I do it. Emerald City is so fun. We also have SakuraCon and PAX West and EC. Yeah. Why do I know Emerald City? I'm not sure. Also, I hear the cat crying. I'm gonna check the door real quick. She's not here, but I hear her crying. You like tabling in cosplay because you can sit there? Yes! My favorite things to do is when I'm in cosplay and I have a mask over my face, because then I don't have to smile. And it's just like, yay. But yeah. I do want to go to the other packs. Those are on my list too, but it's not like a high priority. My favorite con when I was in Texas was PAX South, but they got rid of it because of COVID. Like, it was their smallest of the cons, but it was my absolute favorite con. I went to it every year. So I'm kind of, I want to find another con like that, but I also don't want to spend monies. So yeah. I did the calculations for BlizzCon for me and my husband, and like the flights, the tickets, the food, the hotels. I think in total, because I did a lot of business dinners, so a lot of the meals were a little more expensive, but we tried to save money and went to Target and got like a bunch of food too for the week or the weekend. We also stayed one extra day, but it was only $25 more for staying one more day because of how stupid the flights were. So I think in total it was, I want to say like $3,400 for the two of us, which is a bit expensive. So yeah, but I think for BlizzCon it was worth it because this was a dream con, but I definitely cannot afford that. And all of it went on my card right now, and I got no money now. So yeah. Congrats on your achievement, BlizzCon. Awesome to watch your channel grow from a few hundred subs to the level. Aw, thank you so much, and I appreciate you being here for the journey as well. Yes, actually, my channel here on YouTube mostly is from my, are they reels or are they shorts? I think they're shorts on YouTube. They're mostly from that. For my transformation videos, specifically the Baroth one and the Putao one. Those blew up, and that's what got me the most followers on YouTube. I'm trying to grow my channel into more tutorials because that's what I want it to be, but they're still so like, my channel's still kind of hidden from that, I guess. So I'm hoping to grow that part of my community rather than the shorts part, I guess. But still make money off of both of them, so that's good. You want to go to so many cons, but tickets and hotels. Oh yeah, that's the reason I don't go to cons. I've had some where people are like, oh, I can give you a free ticket to this convention, and it's like, great, but that still means I gotta do a flight, and I still gotta do a hotel, and this and that, and I don't have money to do that. That's why, like, all year I've been saving for BlizzCon. For me paying it. Especially with the year I've had, with the move to Nebraska, and then technically I have now been here a full year. It's weird, but with the loss also 2 months apart of Ches and Fluff, that's been hard. And the Lilith cosplay build was technically like, I made half of it before both of them passed, and then I took my breaks the 2 months, and then they passed, or like they passed in between, and it was very much a distraction for me. So Lilith is a bit of an emotional build, also emotional with just companies too. So I'm happy it's done, and it's away, it's in a closet for now, and I can distract myself from other stuff. So yeah, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok Tics. You need that laugh? Okay. But yeah, this year has definitely been. Cosplay, and that is where I am reading chat and answering questions. So if you have any of that, go over to YouTube. It is free. Welcome on, Ghostface. And for those on YouTube, welcome. If you're new, let's have you as part of our community. So like the video and subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Are today talking about BlizzCon, and then also we are working on the Hilichurl mask from Genshin Impact. This is the last of the 4 I've made. Done the original one, the Pyro, the Electro, and this is the Pyro one. And I do have patterns for all of them. The Pyro one will go onto my website once I finish assembling it. just because I want to make sure it works. Some of these aren't cutting all the way. But yeah, if you have more BlizzCon questions or anything, feel free to ask. Dark Lady, welcome on. It was nice to finally get to meet you. Sorry we didn't get more time though, but I know you were working. I hope you had fun. Eating a pepperoni hot pocket. Nice. Comic-Con is a very general statement. I'd say if you want to see me at a specific con, request me as a guest. But pretty much every town has some type of Comic-Con, so. Alright, we're gonna cut out our last piece. This is the flame. You two had so much fun. It was such a blast hanging with her. Yes. So many people. Like this is, I was saying earlier that I met so many people that I've known online, but I've never met in person, and it was so fun to like actually meet people, and ended up doing a lot of dinners with people too, which was cool. I did do the very last night, so we changed hotels to a much cheaper one. We did an Airbnb, and I've been to California a ton of times just because I've gone to a bunch of cons in California being a guest. And we went to Santa Monica, which was interesting in itself. They had a boardwalk there with a bunch of like carny games and full-on roller coasters and stuff, and oh my gosh, I have never felt so overwhelmed. There was so much sketch there, and just like, it was scary. I never, like, conventions, I kind of get a little like, okay, there's a lot of crowd here, but this was different, and it was just like, so scary, so scary. I was so uncomfortable. I could only make it like halfway down, and I was like, nope, I want to leave now. This is too uncomfortable. Nope, nope, nope. So we did that, but we also drove around to, we wanted to go drive past like Miami, but we didn't go all the way down there. I had never seen the actual ocean in California, so I wanted to go look at it, which is kind of why we chose that area. And we ended up driving past, is it the Getty Museum or something? It was, I didn't know what it was. But it was so cool. Like, we went inside, and it, like, I've been to Europe, I've been to like Italy, and I've seen all of the architecture there and stuff, and it's on the same level. Apparently it's some rich dude that had like the biggest art collection over here in the US or something. And it was really cool to see all of that. And then we also did, Kamui was very nice, and she drove for wherever she was staying, to Santa Monica, and we did dinner with Ganosa as well at a sushi place. And it was cool just to hang out with everybody. But it was, the Airbnb it was interesting. It was a corner, and it was on top of a bar. The floor shook so much, and they were so loud. The whole place just thumped and shook, and we ended up going to, just walking just to get out of it because I had a slight headache. And at one area there's like an outdoor mall. It had tons and tons of dinosaurs, if y'all know I like dinosaurs. And they were all like these wire sculptures that they shot water out of their mouth, but they had vines growing all throughout them, so that was their actual skin, was all of the vines and things. And so it was cool over there, and it was quiet too. So that was nice, because I could kind of calm down a bit from being overwhelmed by everything, and yeah. I'm also not used to that much homeless too. Like, I'm used to some here, but not that level, and other sketchy stuff was a little uncomfortable. Okay, last little piece. Whole screen, yeah. They were cool. I'm hoping I'll add them to the vlog that I'm making. I want to try, y'all know I'm really slow at my vlogs, but I want to try doing the BlizzCon one first. So it's just up. I like ruined this pretty curve. I made it all curvy. All curvy. See if I can fix it a little. Or if I'm gonna make it worse. Okay, I fixed it. Cute. I technically still need this. All of our pieces, I think, are all cut now. So we've got the 4 horns, we've got our mask pieces, and then our fire emblem. Yeah. I'll take a picture real quick. Oh, I didn't want to record. Went off. It's like at this point is gluing and then sanding, and it's like, do I want to do that? I kind of want to be home. I'm actually still really tired, so I think I might end our stream early. We cut all the pieces and I talked a lot on the BlizzCon stuff, but yeah, we're gonna do an early stream. I'm not ready for long streams right now. I'm still recovering, so we will end it there. But thank you guys so much for watching today's short stream and BlizzCon recap thingy bobbery doohickey thingy. So yeah, I will finish this today or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, I'd love to have you as part of our cosplay community. So like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you here. Those that were on TikTok and Instagram, I was live streaming on youtube.com/JiffanyCosplay. This is where I do all of my live streaming and where I read, chat, and answer questions. So if you have those, go to YouTube. That's where I do that. A big thank you to Real for the $20 donation, as well as my Liz for the $20 donation as well. Yeah, we'll be in the scrolly thing on our next stream, which we'll see if it's next week or not. I think Thanksgiving is next week. I'm not sure. I have Air Force stuff kind of mixed in between, so it's a little all over the place, so I gotta figure that out. But hopefully we'll have a stream next week. If not, it'll be the week after, I believe. Actually, what's the week after? No, because I'll be doing crate tech stuff. So yeah, but if you are interested in joining me for my 2-day airbrush workshop for painting a mask and also for horns, do Exclamation Boy workshop, and yeah, I will see you next time. Much love, guys.